Hey, what's up? Bill DeFreitas for the GCBC, and joining me today is Pan's bronze medalist, Polaris Pro vet, and two-time Euro no-gi champ Shane Fishman. He spent the last couple years training in Ireland, but he's back in town now. He just released his Enter The Fishnet reverse lockdown system, so check that out. And please enjoy the interview. All right, Shane Fishman, thank you very much for joining me here. How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Look, you had a crazy 2019 at brown belt. I'm just gonna read a couple here. London Fall Open double gold, Euro no-gi champ, double gold at the Amsterdam Open, Pan's bronze medal, and a highlight reel heel hook finish at Polaris 12. You had a crazy 2019 at brown belt. How are you feeling about that?
I feel good, man. I think the big goal, obviously, I went to physics school and that was took up a lot of time, but I think before I even went into that, a big goal, just finding a career and everything was so you could afford all the travels. You can, obviously it takes away from the training, but I think if you find a balance where you can work full time, you're at least training once or twice a day, I think you can definitely make it work. And yeah, that was the first time where it's, getting a monthly paycheck every weekend. If I wasn't burnt out, I could go and pursue these tournaments. So I think it came to fruition. I finally finished school, I started working, and I finally had the money to actually go and compete every weekend, so it was nice.
Yeah, so do you feel like having just a little extra money behind you just took off some pressure there and maybe even helped you perform a little better? I
don't think it was that. I think I had taken a year off before I went to Ireland and did physics school. And I was training twice a day, but I still, in the back of my head, all my friends were still working, they were making, they were all getting good jobs, and in the back of my head, I'm still training twice a day, and I come home, I can take a nap. I think I was teaching hockey lessons at the time, and I still had so much time during the day, between morning session and then teaching at night. Okay. There's still so much time in the day, so I think that was the big thing to push me. It's you could still get in your 1 or 2 sessions a day and still, pursue something else. So I think that was a big factor in it. But yeah, just training twice a day, it takes up, I think the big thing about this quarantine now is realizing how much time I have in the day now.
Yeah.
At the same time, 2 a day you can still put in, you can still get in other things, but at the same time, 2 a days takes up all your time, it's a balance, definitely. It's a balance for sure.
For sure. So out of 2019, that long list, and I probably missed a couple, what tournament kind of meant the most to you? What was the biggest moment? It doesn't even have to be a win, just what was your biggest moment of 2019?
Yeah, I think the second no-gi Euro. So I had won it in 2018, I believe. 2018 or 2019 no-gi Euros. Mm-hmm. 2018, and I only had 2 matches, I think. I had a bye. So I won the first one. The finals was good. It was a ref decision. It was a guy who I lost to 2 weekends before at London Grand Slam. But the year after, 2019, so that was my first, I think it was the first gold major. No-gi Euros was one of the smaller majors, but I think it was the first gold I got at a major. And, for 2 fights, if I didn't have the bye, it would have been 3, but 2 fights, it just didn't feel like this most rewarding thing. It was super cool, but at the same time, it's you're used to world having to fight 5-6 matches to get on the podium. So the next year, I think it was 4, might have been 5. I think it was 4 solid hard fights. Yeah. So that was I solidified it. I didn't really feel like I deserved it the first year, just because it wasn't a huge bracket. Mm-hmm. But that second year, it was 4 fights, and I think I submitted 3 of them and won 1 on decision. So. That was super, felt like an actual winning a major at that time.
That's awesome. And out of that list, you did AGP Tour, IBJJF, Polaris. What format did you kind of like the most?
I just like keeping it, and obviously I like IBJJF. I'm enjoying just breaking down matches, getting into the more technical aspect of things, whereas before I wouldn't be thinking about, all right, I just need to sweep. There's no technique behind maybe if I sit back now, and then try to sweep in the last 2 minutes. I never had a technical. I'm trying to develop that. I don't have that developed right now, but I think I'm starting to think about that. And I think that's a big aspect of the IBJJF tournaments, is actually coming in with the technical aspect rather than I'm just going to hit my sweeps and win like that. And then Polaris is fun, like sub only, mix it up. AJP is quite IBJF rule set, so it's just the shorter matches, which is interesting because I feel like I'm a bit of not a slower starter, but I'm not as explosive, and like it takes some time to get things going. Whereas the 6-minute matches, like a guy could just be super explosive, breaking your grips, and it's like to be able to score in those 6 minutes, it's such you have to be so much more aggressive. Whereas an 8-minute match, you can ease into it, you can be really calm. Whereas I find the thing about AJP is like you have to match each other's aggression, because if you let him get up the first point, like you're constantly having to keep up for the rest of the match.
I think that makes it a little more exciting though.
It does, It does, but then you also get I see both sides of it, definitely.
It's tough, I keep talking to people about like, how can we make gi matches more exciting, because I've been going to like wrestling tournaments and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys are just non-stop action, and then I watch some gi and I'm like, oh, it's slow, I love it, but it's like,
I think the points forces action, because like only if you get down into mount, like there's nothing like really forcing you to come back. Obviously you want to the points forces the action, like. So I like the aspect that I think the points does make it exciting in most cases, but at the same time, a 10-minute black belt match, you can't, no one can then keep up a good pace for 10 minutes. You have to have a lull in the action, and then, so I think that 6 to 8 minute mark is a good kind of balance there. But like, I don't think jiu-jitsu is ever going to be spectator.
No, don't say that. It has to be. I believe. So you're bronze at Pans. You came up short against Ronaldo? Is that Ronaldo Jr.?
Yeah,
is that
I lost to him. Was that our second or third match? I lost him at Pans, and then I lost to him. So Pans in the semifinals, and then Worlds in the quarterfinals.
So I'm not bringing that up just to bring up losses. I'm leading up to. So he just got his black belt, correct?
Yeah.
So for you, I'm assuming coming up to near the end of your brown belt. So having matches against that guy, how do you feel against kind of like the top guys in the world right now?
Yeah, Pans, I think the big thing with Pans was I still didn't have I'm still working on it, but I still don't have that layer of guard where it's like I want to be in close into like a butterfly X. It's that before we even have that grip exchange, it's like I'm still working on collar sleeve, getting that third layer. Or that last layer of guards. So I think that Pans, like, I think he just exploited that, where I didn't have the greatest control, and he was like Toriano pass jumping, it was like I couldn't get any control. And then I think Worlds, I think he pulled on me, and it was just a different dynamic. It was like I was able to sweep him back, and I think going into the black belt, I think I really understand like the need for, I can't just be pulling like a shin to shin guard. It's like I need to be getting my grip sitting back. So it's definitely something to work on, but I think it was better than because I fought him at No-Gi Worlds as well. I think it was, again, quarterfinals, and that was just a mind opener too. Like, that guy's so explosive. I thought like at least with the gi I can grab something, but it's something to definitely work on, and I can definitely see closing that gap, but it's going to take a lot of work for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I see you just put out your Enter the Fishnet reverse lockdown system. A lot of the top level guys kind of eventually develop their own game. So I think that's going to be huge for you. Like the more you refine that, and you'll be surprising people, because it is tricky. I know you've done it to me a couple times in training, and it kind of catches you off guard. Then all of a sudden you're on the back. So yeah. I'm just kind of wondering, how long have you been developing that system? How long have you been working on that?
I think in 2017, I would always do, this is quite technical, I don't know if it's going to come off without showing it, but like, I'd always be an expert, and I'd pass the leg over across my body, and I'd tilt them backwards. But I think a lot of the time when you're in match, or working in training, but in competition, guys aren't just going to give up sweep, and they pop up, and it'd be like a scramble to like, I'd have to wrestle and take them down. And I think the big thing, once I tilted them back from X guard, you can just lock that lockdown, and it slows up everything. So it's like you have your time to work towards the back, work towards the sweep. So I think like X guard is such a dynamic position where it's hard to get in, and once you get in, it's like you have to move. You're not just going to hold someone in X guard for 2-3 minutes. Like they're going to back step, they're going to be moving. So the big thing with me was just slowing it down from there. I can tilt them backwards, I can lock that in, and then once the reverse lockdown's locked in, you have like all the time to work from there. So it just naturally kind of happened. I think like I would always try to tilt guys back, and then I honestly don't know the first day it happened, but I just locked in the lockdown. I'm like, you can tilt the knee, and then we just kind of developed it from there. So it was just a natural evolution of what I was doing, and then trying to slow things down. Because like I was saying, I play a lot of butterfly, X guard. I don't have a real position like a closed guard, where I can just slow things down. So I think it was important for me to find like these positions where I can slow it down.
Yeah, and how effective has it been in tournaments so far?
It's been pretty good. I think the main thing is that people don't train the position. So it's like once you get in there, they try like. See, in training, I'll do the same thing. I don't even hit it. Sorry, I'm talking about East Coast when I train with the guys in Ireland. I very rarely even get that position anymore because everyone knows the right reactions.
Yeah.
Whereas you do the competition and it becomes like, if people just do like the most basic reaction that no one does in training anymore, and it's like it makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
so I think it's just the fact that no one trains the position and they have a really like everyone tries to knee cut out of it, and it's like. It's just so it works so well when you don't know what the proper thing to do is.
It sounded like you were gonna start going down the road of how to break it down there, and you kind of stopped yourself.
I'm good in podcast form.
That's hilarious. So can you use that same technique, I guess, system in nogi as well?
Yeah, it works really well in nogi. I definitely had a scare at one point because I watched the IBJJF rulebook, and they show any twisting of the knee is illegal. So, electric chair, like that would be illegal in IBJJF.
Okay.
For a long time I didn't realize that. But like the only difference between the reverse lockdown is the leg is passed over, and you're kind of, it's a weird, it is a bit of a knee torque, but you're kind of doing it more in a linear direction rather than twister, you're completely like twisting that knee. So I'm always a little like nervous when I'm doing it, but so far like no ref has ever called it, and I've been doing it since 2017, so I think it's safe. But yeah, it works well in no-gi and gi. I haven't done it in sub only because I think Polaris, I mean, I would have liked to get it, but I think I was hunting the heel hooks a bit more, so I think it's the dynamic, obviously.
That's funny. I love that Polaris one. I just watched the highlight before this, and you had that classic drag him back in. That's so good.
Yeah, style there.
Yeah. So, speaking of the heel hooks, is that something that you worked on mostly in Ireland, or what?
I was doing a lot of, Cat Clark's promotion, Sub-Series Pro.
Okay,
I would go over there. I think I fought on their event 3 or 4 times, and it was always sub only, heel hooks were always legal, so I probably started training them, I say in 2017. And my first match against Oliver Taza on that event, and I don't think I was ever training heel hooks. Like, I had taken that match on, that was the Kumite, Canadian Kumite, I think.
Okay.
It was like 3,000. Anyways.
I remember that one.
Like Rustin, Chiziev was in there, Dante Leon.
What a card.
John St. Paul. It was a sick lineup, but I think I'd taken out, someone had dropped out Oliver's first round opponent, so like 3 days or 2 days before, Kat asked me if I wanted to come, and then I said I'd do it, and I think I remember like going to Marco's Academy, Body 4, and like 2 nights before we were just drilling, like we're trying to break it down, but it's like that guy's been training for, it's been specializing, it's like how in 2 days are you going to catch up to that?
Yeah.
So I think that was the first time I really started diving into that after that match, because I think he caught me, there's like 2 escapes where I managed to get out, and the third one he got me an inside kill, so that definitely put in my head that I need to train these and get better at them.
I was just talking about training in Ireland, so can you just tell us who you were training under and what gym you were at?
Yeah, so I'm training under Darren O'Connell at East Coast Jiu-Jitsu Academy just in South Dublin there. And he has a bunch of black belts, Sam McDonnelly, Marcus Phelan, Fionn Davis trains there. Just a really good group. Mia Purveik kind of drops in every now and then. So, and he says he's like, he's well known in Europe, so you obviously have so many guys before Euros. You have every couple months there's always people visiting, whether from the States or different countries in Europe. So you always get to see different games there, and just become a really good spot in Ireland to train.
Right on. So you're back in town now. Are you kind of settled back in now, or what?
Well, we started up the home dojo garage sessions 2-3 days ago. It was weird, like I think I was actually enjoying the time off for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about training, and then I think like last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm like, okay, I really need to get something together and start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some mats in the garage. I just been training with one friend who's been quarantined and staying safe. So
Right on.
yeah, so we'll keep that up, and then hopefully, I'd say, like, when do you think gyms will start opening? July, August? Things go up?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Or end of the summer, at least.
And how important do you think it is to you and the development of your game, just going to all these different gyms, getting to spend a few years with Dara, coming back here, training with Marco, training at Gringos? How do you think that helps you?
Yeah, I think that's a big aspect. Like, if you're not competing, I think just visiting another gym is just like a competition. Like, there's so many people, like, in Ireland, like, when I first got there, they still will catch me with the same things, but, like, that first week is like, you're just getting tapped left, right, and center. Guys who, like, the games, like, now I know, like, you understand what I have to do to avoid that, but it's like, when you first train with someone, it's really, it's like the purest thing where they're, like, if they're really good at position and you have no idea, it's like, it's very, yeah, I think going to different gyms is definitely, like, one of the better things you can do for your development, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Every time that I start getting, like, a little bit confident around my gym and I go somewhere else, there's always, like, one guy a rank below me that it's just, like, is going to destroy me. Like, it happens at every single gym. There's, like, one guy that's always going to kind of put you back in your place. So, yeah, I think it's good just to get out there, see different games, get caught in the fishnet a little bit, and realize there's more to learn, you know? Is there anything different about training in Ireland than around here? Or is it kind of jiu-jitsu's jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything unique. I think the biggest thing is that traveling to different gyms is, like, no one's doing anything special. There is no, there's no secret to getting good at it. Like, we went to Tommy Langecker and Espen's gym, and that was before a Euro camp. So we brought out, like, 6 or 7 guys from East Coast, and we went down there, and they train hard twice a day, Monday to Friday. They take their weekends off, they chill out. Mm-hmm. And then you come over here, you train with the Sarah Costa guys, those Wednesday, even there for the Wednesday, what is it, 20 rounds?
Oh man, it's crazy, yeah. It's like, what is it, 10? Or no, I don't know, there are 10-minute rounds and they just go.
You're doing 10 6-minute rounds, 5-minute rounds, but you do it the same, you do your first round and your second round with the same partner, and then you switch over to a new partner, you do 2 rounds with them. Yeah. And then there's a 1-minute break for those first 10s, and then the 10 to 20th round, you're doing, like, you get an extra, like, 2-minute rest or something.
Yeah, I've hopped in a couple times, but recently, since I had, like, a bit of a banged up knee, I'm like, I have to be, like, healthy to get in there with those guys. Yeah.
But I'd come back from Ireland, and I think I was like, jet lag, that was my first day back. And it's like, you walk in there, it's like, we're going to do 20 rounds, and it's like, you take one off, you come back tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
I love it. Like, it's awesome training, but yeah, if you're not feeling well, you definitely want to avoid those sessions.
For me, it just showed training with, like, some more intent. Like, sometimes I would just show up to the gym and just kind of, like, roll, train hard, whatever, but they're really, like, you're getting ready for competition, you're getting ready to be a competitor more than just, like, learning some techniques and stuff like that. So I think it's huge for the whole community in Canada that those guys are around. So I've always noticed you as a very calm and nice fella. So I'm just wondering, like, what's your tournament mindset like? Because, like, you're always pretty calm in there. What do you like, say, the week before, the night before, and then the day of? Like, what's going on in your head?
Yeah, honestly, the week before, I mean, I try not to think about it too much. I kind of go back and forth if I want to look at the brackets, and I think it's just, over time, you're always going to be nervous with it, but it's just getting more comfortable with those nerves, I think. The week before, I just like to keep training hard. I like to drill the positions I'm going to drill. Night before, to be honest, like, I try not to think about jiu-jitsu. I just want to get a good night's sleep and get up and get breakfast and get over to the venue. And yeah, I don't like to, like, I try not to, like, get music going too early. Like, I don't want to get too amped up and then, have that lull, like, because you're going to be waiting there all day. So I don't do anything in particular, and I think I do try to stay calm. Definitely probably to Jeff, like, 8-minute matches, I can go in there, I'm not looking to get amped up and, just go in and have a hard first match or try to ease into them. I think that's been working well for me. I think definitely sub only. I think when there's when it's sub only, I definitely think I get more aggressive, and it's a bit different style. You're obviously there's people watching. It's a bit more, there's eyes on you, there's more pressure on you. But I think when you have a longer match, like an 8-minute match next year at Black Belt, it'll probably be 10 minutes, obviously. So I think for those, you can ease into it a bit. But I think for, sub only, for those, it's like you just want to go try to get the sub and finish there. So yeah, it's still something I'm working on. I'm sure after this, I'm going to feel uncomfortable again, and I'm going to have to compete every weekend to get in that zone. So actually, I think that's the most important thing, is just competing as frequently as you can, getting used to those nerves, and then that's the only way to really get comfortable with it.
I think so. Everybody looks for a little trick, a little hack there, but it's just sign up for as many tournaments as you can.
Yeah, it's like if you put the effort and you're training hard, if it means a lot to you, you're not gonna just walk in there and not feel nervous. If it means a lot to you, you're gonna feel nervous. And I think the only way to get more comfortable is just to keep doing it, pretty much.
For sure. And competing as much as you do, or sometimes it's every weekend, every other weekend. Do you have camps for certain tournaments? Do you try to peak for certain tournaments, or do you just kind of constantly just try and stay steady with your strength and conditioning?
Yeah, we're pretty much training all year round. I wouldn't say there's specific camps, although it does pick up. Before Euros, before Worlds, when we have a good group going, we'll definitely pick up the training a bit. We'll do a little more specific training, whether it's working with lapel or different positions that we want to work on. The only we did have one pretty insane camp for Euros. The first year I got down there in 2017, where Dara brought in some of the guys from the different affiliates, like Ellis, Younger, who's a brown belt, world champ out of Northeast Jiu-Jitsu. He brings in all a lot of his affiliates, and there's always people visiting. So that was an 8-week camp before. But aside from the intensity picking up, there's no difference between that and 2 weeks before that. We're still all training all year round. Obviously, when there's Polaris or Noki, Super Fight, we'll get more specific rounds like that. But pretty much it's just all year round, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think once you get into black belt, are you going to be having some more camps for a Worlds and Pans and stuff like that? Maybe compete a little less and just kind of focus on certain tournaments, or are you just going to try and hit everything again?
That's a good question. To be honest, I think I was quarantine. It's just going to be the same, just trying to compete every weekend. It's you don't realize how good you have it until you obviously can't compete anymore. So I think maybe obviously you'll have to put the points together. I'll have to rack it up, do all the opens. So I assume it's going to be quite similar. Just trying to compete as frequently as I can, pretty much. Yeah.
Do you feel like at the top level, say black belt, top of the line, you have to choose between gi and no gi, or can you compete in both and still be at the top level?
I think the trend that it's going is that you do have to specialize. I think if you want to be the best at the no-gi game, you have to be diving into the leg locks. But if you're trying to get in, do IBJJF Worlds and all that, that game is just completely taken away. So there's a certain point where IBJJF allowed heel hooks, and you get a bit of a merger between the two. I could see you pursuing both, but at this point, it seems like you do have to kind of specialize. For me, I enjoy both, so I'll do a no-gi Euros, a no-gi Worlds, and I'll do the gi. But definitely, I think as black belt comes closer, I think you do have to be thinking what's the ultimate goal, and do I want to specialize? So yeah, it's definitely something I think you have to think about.
Last question that I want to ask, and you take your time to think about this for a second. Why do you grapple?
Why do I grapple? I think the biggest thing for me is the community. I think the biggest thing for most people in the sport team is probably how much jiu-jitsu makes you social, and the broader or the greater community that you're a part of. Whereas now we're all stuck at home. It's even if I didn't see any friends for a week, I would have met 30 plus people on the mats every day. And I think that's the biggest part of it. I think competition is obviously icing on the cake, but I think it's the community and just the hard training. You feel so good after a hard training session. I think during this quarantine, like I was gonna go crazy if I had to run anymore or freaking like lift weights anymore. It's like we all do it because we just love it's an exercise that you don't realize you're exercising. Your mind's just so stimulated and you're just so in the moment, and once you get in that flow, it's like there's nothing better than that.
Right on, man. Right on. Do you have any sponsors? Anybody you want to shout out? Your teams? Anything like that?
Yeah, shout out to the guys at East Coast Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you to the sponsor, my sponsor Tatami. And if you're looking for an instructional over the quarantine, I'm going to give a plug to the Fishnet reverse lockdown system.
How do we find that?
I think it's Vimeo / on demand. Vimeo / on demand / Fishnet. It might be wrong, but it's something like that.
Okay, cool, dude. Appreciate your time. This is a lot of fun. It's nice to catch up with you, and I can't wait to get back to training.